This is it. Finally, here we go. So I've said for a while now that I'm gonna be doing my best video games of 2015 list. You guys can probably figure out what they already are, but fuck it, I'm gonna do this list anyway because I want to. So let's see if you actually can predict what's gonna be on here. I'm actually going to do something different this year. Instead of like the top 10 best video games of 2015, because that kind of, looking back on 2014, I have problems with the way I did that, because I think like a few of the games I was more like, about the, not but there's games that I say I really like, but I don't think they should be like on a top 10, because I just didn't play all that many games in 2014. I played a lot more in 2015. So what I want to do, and actually to filter out all the business microtransactions bullshit that happens with these games, I want to actually pick out the games that I feel like are the best value for you, the consumer. I'm not talking, so any games that's gonna, I think an automatic DQ in this case is if it has microtransactions, it's disqualified. So sorry, Phantom Pain, I love you, but you cannot be on this list. I mean, that's like an honorable mention in this case. So, without further ado, here are the games that I feel like are the best 2015 had to offer in terms of value, replayability, and the impact that they personally left on me. These are games that I would never in a million years hesitate to recommend at full retail price, and I think are more than worthy of any future money from me if more content were to come out. And like I said, if I think they promote any kind of really stupid, lame, harmful trends in this industry, they're not going to be on here. So let's finally, after months of delaying this, let's kick this shit off. So I've narrowed it down to 6 games that I'm going to talk about. One of them's kind of like a bundle of games, but I'm going to go into in depth about only one when it comes time for that. So my first choice for this list, the first cream of the crop pick that I've got, is Life is Strange, which was developed by Donut Entertainment and published by Square Enix. And for those who don't know what Life is Strange is, it's an episodic adventure game that focuses on a high school girl named Max, where she has to return to her hometown in order to go to a really nice photography school, and because she wants to be a photographer when she grows up. And through circumstances that I'm not going to spoil on here, she gains the ability to manipulate time. She gains the power to go forward in time, rewind time, and has to make decisions based on whether or not, like if a certain situation plays out one way, she can actually go back in time and try it out a different way, but that could have unintended consequences through like the future of the game. And I think this game is, looking back on it, even though, let me get this straight, it's not perfect. It's not even great. It's not even like close to being great. It has terrible dialogue. It like cringe-inducingly bad at points. It has that unfortunate occasional dip into unintentional comedy. Like there's one point that's meant to be like the big tearjerker moment, and it, because of just how it's written and how it's delivered, it's actually really funny. It's unintentionally funny, and I'm pretty sure that was not the intention of the creators. So this is, but it goes without saying, and it's really a testament to how good the rest of this game is, that even with its problems, and trust me, it has numerous problems, it's a beautiful game. And it captures this really lovely autumn atmosphere. I love environments in games. I don't know what it is about the combination of like a small town in autumn season, and it's like surrounded by like this beautiful ocean and the countryside, and just like the kind of decrepit, decaying town. There's just something about the atmosphere of Life is Strange that is just magical. And if you're a fan of sunrises and sunsets like me, this game is going to be porn. This game is like sunset porn. Because almost like the end of every episode kicks off, even not even like the end, sometimes it begins with a sunrise or a sunset. It is beautiful to look at. It's just, when I first played it, I was like, even like the first episode, I knew it had problems. I knew the dialogue wasn't all that good, but I couldn't help but just be wowed by how this game looked. It was so beautiful. It just, and I've used the word beautiful a lot, and I'm going to keep on using the word beautiful when it comes to Life is Strange. It is a beautiful looking game. No, the art design is not a problem at all. It overwhelms the problems I have with the rest of the game visually, like where the character models sometimes aren't all that good. The lip syncing is really bad, but from like an atmospheric and art design perspective, Life is Strange is top fucking notch. It is one of the best looking autumn atmosphere games I have ever seen. And if they make a Life is Strange 2, which they probably will, considering this game was like surprisingly successful, and I'm happy that it was really successful, I want them to keep this autumn atmosphere. Or if they're going to go the opposite route, go for like winter or summer or spring or something. But just the way it looks is incredible. It also does something that not a lot of games do. It focuses, as realistic as you can get in this kind of semi-fantastical situation with time travel, is this really interesting, relatable story of a young woman trying to balance both her personal life, her school life, and the newfound powers that she has. I mean, there are situations in this game that really we don't talk about a lot in video games. You know, like there are games out there that do have bullying in them and online harassment, but a lot of it is played with a joke in most situations. Some of it is treated seriously, and I understand that, but I feel like the way Life is Strange did it, it's the best kind of blending in with this fantastical stuff, where it heightens the fantastical elements, in my opinion, heighten the real world drama that goes on in this game. Stuff like I said, bullying, harassment, online harassment, date rape, suicide. I mean, it's a lot of really heavy stuff in this game that I think is treated with a lot of respect and care, and I don't feel like it's manipulative or shitty. There's a scene in this game, it doesn't really have much consequence in like later episodes, but in that moment, it's one moment that where you have to make this. It's not even a decision. You have to talk yourself into a certain ending, and I'm not gonna spoil it. People that have played the game probably know what I'm talking about, and please don't spoil it for others. But I think that moment and the result that I got, I felt more in that moment of just sheer shock and panic and just like emotional that I've never felt before in any of the Telltale games. I mean, it was fucking powerful, and I have to give Don't Nod Entertainment all the credit for being able to do this. I mean, this is what they should have done before. Don't Nod made this game called Remember Me. And this is kind of where I see the origins of their experimentation with time travel based gameplay, where a lot of like the most interesting part of not Life is Strange, of Remember Me. I'm having trouble remembering the fucking title. Remember Me is this scenario where you have to manipulate memories in order to get a desired result, and that I thought was really fascinating. But I feel like what they do in Life is Strange takes like elements from that and just makes it better, where it's like, you know, puzzle solving or interacting with characters, stuff like that. And the characters, Max is a great protagonist. Chloe is one of my favorite characters of 2015. Even like side characters that I initially was like, whatever. Like there's one girl that clearly is kind of like she's like that bitch that you see a lot in school that's just like, meh, it's all about me. But even she, depending on how you go, she grows into a character. She has character development. The only downside to the character is there's this guy that's like Max's best friend / semi-love interest named Warren. I fucking hate Warren. Warren is like that annoying hipster pop culture slinging dork that you just are like, shut the fuck up and go away. But he's not. He appears a lot in Life is Strange, so I have to yell at my TV, tell him to shut the fuck up and go away. But he'll never listen because he's in a video game. Fuck. So fuck Warren. Warren's a fucking annoying dork. But yeah, Life is Strange. I really enjoyed it. Looking back on it, it's not great. It's definitely not flawless. It's got some big problems. Even with the ending that I know a lot of people were really disappointed with, they tried to do something that I think Mass Effect 3 tried to do as well. And keep in mind, yes, this is another Mass Effect 3 type situation. But I feel like in the context of how they did it, I feel like it was deserved. Because it all comes down to one decision. And that decision is the right one. And it feels like the whole series feels like it's been building up to this one moment. Every scene feels like it's building up. And that made it all the more difficult to choose. It's not like in Mass Effect 3 where it's like, fuck, where did this come from? This is bullshit. And it doesn't make sense. And it just was like, I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. Hopefully they better not fucking pull that shit in Mass Effect Andromeda. But here in Life is Strange, I feel like it deserved to have that kind of end game decision. It's not for everybody, and I understand if you're really pissed off at it, but I really dug it in Life is Strange. But yeah, Life is Strange is available now. I think it's like a collector's edition that comes with the music, and music's gorgeous, by the way. An art book, which I'd like to get my hands on, commentary from the developers. I think there's like an interesting documentary on YouTube if you want to watch the making of the game. I always like stuff like that. It's cool. But yeah, Life is Strange. My first pick in my cream of the crop section for the best games of 2015. I really dug it. I feel like in an age where a lot of like choice-based stuff is dominated by Telltale, and rightfully so, Life is Strange is an interesting little diversion from that, and I really liked it. I think it's a very good game. You should, if you guys are into this sort of thing, you should definitely go out and play it, flaws and all. So I'm really looking forward to seeing if Don't Nod's going to do a sequel. I know they're working on this game. It's like a vampire game. I forget what it's called, but it sounds really interesting, and I'm hoping to hear more about it. I hope it's on the most anticipated games of 2017 list, because I'd like to see another hit from these guys. And yeah, Life is Strange, developed by Don't Nod Entertainment, who did one damn well job. Alright, the second game is Rocket League, probably the biggest surprise of 2015, and maybe no, let's cut the bullshit. This is the best sports game I have ever played. It's like the best designed sports game I've ever played. It's fucking genius. It's so simple, but it's so brilliant. It's like you have soccer with cars, with little RC cars, and you play soccer with the RC cars. And you have like really good physics, and you can like include really cool features like split screen multiplayer and all that. I mean, it's fucking awesome. And the way it is now, priced at $19.99 with like little bits and pieces of expansions there with a ton of free add-ons, it's the best time to buy this game. Right now, it's available on... It used to be available only on PC and PS4. Now it's on Xbox One. Now it's going to be a retail edition because they were like, shit, this thing is so successful. But it was like... It's just a huge breakout success for Psyonix. It was developed by the developers. it's a really excellent game it's easy to learn, but, if in order to master it, it takes, practice and time and even a little bit of luck. And even beginners, like when I first started playing this, it was one of those games that was like, a free game from PlayStation Plus that I was just like, well, fuck it, alright, I'll see what the hell this is about. And I played it with a couple friends, and we were blown away by how good it was. We really got into it. And we were able to pull off these fucking incredible saves and shots, and just from how, easy it was to just pick up and learn. And I love the mindset of these developers. These guys, this is what more games should be doing. You need to take a great concept, paste it out with a budget, make it small, but add really friendly features to it. Have cool customization options like this. Make it split screen, 4-player split screen multiplayer, split screen over the internet, PC and PS4 cross-platform play. Just tons of features. This is why this game was such a huge success. This is the game that it's not going to revitalize companies' interest in split screen, but because of split screen, it made the game better. It made the game more fun. It made it essential at parties. People love playing this game. It is so much fun. And like I said, they've added like a ton of free stuff to it. Just like at the end of this month, they're going to add fucking basketball to it. How cool is that? They're going to add like 3 more stages, and they're going to have a basketball mode. It's like, and all that's for free. It's for free. The only thing that you have to pay for are like the extra car models and shit. But whatever, they're decently priced. They're like, what, $2, $3, $4 a pop? Hell, that's fine. I got the game for free. I'd be more than happy to throw $4 or $5 your way every so often for some extra cars. Fuck yeah, I would. And the free shit, it's so cool. These guys and another developer I'll talk about later they get it. They get how to balance, player respect, consumer respect, and how, like the business sense as well. They're making a shitload of money, but they're keeping people happy. They put in features that people want. They are really good about tweaking the game. They're really good about responding to server issues and stuff like that. Their Twitter feed, they're like constantly looking over. They're constantly updating people and going, hey, sorry, we have a maintenance here. Sorry, we got this. There was a time, like during the week, that like the week it came out, that the servers were shit because they were not prepared by the demand that this game was going to get. And it's not like goddamn Street Fighter V, where Street Fighter V came up and it's like, we were not prepared for how huge the servers were going to be, how impactful they were. But here's Rocket League coming in and going, hey guys, sorry, look, we had no idea this was going to be so popular. And you know what? They were so open about it, and it was like, fine, you guys are a super small indie development team. That's fine. I have no problem with the servers being down. This is an excuse to have down servers because of how fucking popular the game is. I think they spent like, what was it, like $1 million, $1.5 million on this game? I think so far it's made like 100 times back its budget. I mean, these guys are just, I'm not going to say I don't want to assume they're swimming in money at this point, but this is probably the biggest success story of 2015, and damn rightfully so, because Rocket League is awesome. This is a great game. This is the damn best sports game ever fucking made, and I accidentally punched my keyboard out of that. But yeah, this is so cool. This is like the biggest surprise of 2015. It's a must at every gathering with friends, family. I've played this game with friends, like parties. I played this with friends over like booze, where we get all intoxicated and we like, yeah, and even like somebody like me, I don't give a shit about sports. I'm like it will turn even the most jaded anti-sports person into a fucking screaming soccer nutcase. Like the people that yell at like Barcelona and not Real Madrid and the, god damn it, I forget the other team, but it's it's like people that like watch the World Cup with soccer and are like, ah, like yell and scream and shit. This is what Rocket League does to me. Like, don't play Rocket League with me, because I will get angry. I want to win, and it brings out that competitive drive in me. And it's like, yeah, just don't play ask any of my friends, don't play Rocket League with me, because I'll start yelling, what the fuck? Oh, shit, fuck you! And I'll just be yelling at the TV. I will turn into a fucking soccer nut. Don't play Rocket League with me. But yeah, I love Rocket League. Rocket League is awesome, guys. If you haven't played this game by now, even if you're not into sports or soccer or racing or cars or whatever, I'm not into any of that shit, and I love Rocket League, and I'm recommending it to you guys. It easily deserves a place on this list. Absolutely. Even like, I can't think of a reality where this game wouldn't be on this list in the state that it's in now. It's just beautiful. It's a beautiful game. And Psyonix need to be commended for their excellent consumer service, their willingness to add a shitload of free stuff to it. And now, like, I think I made a video talking about it. I'll have to go back. I think I talked about it. I said I would not like, at that point I was like, the $20 price point, it's a little much. Now, no, fuck that. Now, $20, that is being generous for the amount of stuff they offer now. $20? You're gonna complain about $20 in the state that it's in now? Fuck you. No, fuck you. No. No. Rocket League the way it is now, easily worth $20. Easily worth $30. Maybe even $40. It's that fucking good. Tons of replayability, lots of value, lots of consumer respect. Psyonix gets it. Rocket League gets it. It's a fantastic sports game. It's the best fucking sports game ever made. I fucking love it. FIFA should be put to shame. So, say no to FIFA. Say yes to Rocket League. The next game on my cream of the crop list is Fallout 4. Yes, I love Fallout 4. I will admit, even with its problems, which there are a few significant ones that I probably overlooked in hindsight, because I was like, oh my god, I'm playing Fallout 4 after all these years, I'm finally here, yes! But yes, it does have some problems that thankfully are got fixed with the Mechanist DLC. I'm really looking forward to Far Harbor, seeing what that's like. So, I really enjoyed Fallout 4. I thought the world that they created, I thought the world was really awesome. I loved exploring this version of Boston. I thought it was really cool. Their world building is still stellar as can be. I loved all the little secrets and nooks and crannies that they hide into their worlds. I love that they add so much stuff to this wasteland that it melts your time away. Even to the detriment of the main narrative, it's still really just fun to just play this game and let yourself just sink into it all. This is the kind of game I love to see from open worlds. Like, if you're going to make an open world game, something like Fallout 4 would be like my ideal situation, where you don't worry about how many collectibles are in the environment or how many side missions you can cram into one area. And actually, Fallout 4 is smaller than what people thought it would be, but it's so dense, it's so rich with so much cool stuff to look at. It has an interesting story for the most part, until like some bits at the end. I really liked the way that the world. I like open worlds that are designed like not to be friendly to you. Like one of my go-to examples of if you're confused by what I'm talking about, something like Watch Dogs, where Watch Dogs' world feels like it was built for you, rather than it's a world that was built and now you're getting yourself lost in. It's like everything about Watch Dogs' world felt so like tailored around you in a bad way. It just felt like And it was so boring. It was so bare bones and dull, and it felt like I wasn't really exploring anything. The environment didn't really have any kind of personality or identity. It was just bland, generic city 1057. But with Fallout 4, this world feels like it can exist outside of my player character. It has its own interesting economy and wildlife and characters that rumble around and seem to have their own daily lives. I mean, shit, some of them can't even be bothered with you. And I like that. I like that about games where certain characters, like if you walk up to a character and go, "Hey, how you doing?" They'll be like, "Fuck off." And you'll just be like, "Oh, okay, see you later." But that's cool. I like that. That makes me feel like I'm a part of this world where characters don't just exist for me to talk to and get side quests from. I like that that Bethesda always does that. And Bethesda has, I don't know what it is, like it's been brought up again by the whole Doom thing, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. Is that Bethesda ruined Fallout? No, Bethesda made Fallout into something different. And even though it might be different than what was on the PC years ago, it's still fucking fantastic. And I'll also address the elephant in the room with the season pass that they talked about, and then they increased the price for it. It wasn't like they announced because I know a lot of people are like, well, why is this game on? It's a fair question. People are like, why is this game on here with the whole season pass bullshit? Well, to be honest, I wasn't really all that bothered by the season pass thing. I felt like for a long time it was $29.99 was decently priced, and I only thought it was going to be like some expansions. But the fact that they're doing more, that they plan on doing more into 2016, possibly into early 2017, that's fine. I honestly have no problem with them increasing the season price to $50 as long as there's more content. And they let you buy the 20. It wasn't like, oh, please owe us $20 more. Like with some games where it's like, oh, well, you already paid for this season pass? How about another one? It's not like Evolve or fucking Mortal Kombat X where it's like, oh, we're having 2 season passes. No, we're just going to increase the price by $20 for this season pass. And if you already bought it for $29.99, great. You don't have to pay anymore. You got all like $60 worth of DLC for $29.99. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And it's not like when they announced the expansion, like what actually the first 3 expansions are going to be, it's not like they went, oh, and immediately we're going to up the price to $50. It's no, we're going to give you like, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks. It's like if you want to buy it, fine. If you don't, whatever, you lose out. And that's also been getting some controversy, but like I said, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And it's not like Star Wars Battlefront, where Star Wars Battlefront came out, it's like fucking ridiculous-ass $50 season pass, but there wasn't enough in the base game to justify $60. In Fallout 4, absolutely there's enough to justify $60. Fuck yeah, there is. And they're going to add another survival mode in there for free, and they're going to bring in mod support from the PC for it for free. You goddamn right it's worth $60. There's so much to do. There's shit that I'm playing it now, like that I didn't even discover when I first played it. Like that was shit that was in the vanilla version that I'm still discovering. It's great. There's so much detail in this world, and it's awesome. I also really like that your character finally talks. I really like that. I've always wanted Bethesda to include, even like the only situation where I don't want a sorry, I had to cut the audio out because I got a phone call. But yeah, I don't want a speaking protagonist in Skyrim, but I'm really glad they did one for Fallout 4. And I think the voice actors that they got for both the male and female are really good. Really damn good. Really, there's a lot of really good voice acting in this game. Bethesda's always really good with getting quality voice actors for these performances. Even if the voices do tend to repeat from time to time, I feel like it's very good for what they did here. I'm noticing it much less than in, like, say, Skyrim or Oblivion or even Fallout 3. I also really like the music. Even though some of the songs do repeat from past entries, it's still very cool to have these radio stations. I don't know if it really makes a lot of sense. I mean, but I guess your Pip-Boy does have like a little radio thing in it. But yeah, this is just one one damn fine trip into a world that I've grown to really like over these years. And it's worth it. Absolutely. Even with the problems, like I've said, I don't think the narrative really pays off. The dialogue system's kind of dumb. It's very pretty to look at. But even though I still think the creation or whatever engine they use, I think they need to stop using it. They need to move on to something else. I think this should be like the last hurrah for this engine. So, yes, Fallout 4. I definitely would recommend it at $59.99. No doubt, absolutely. I think it's an excellent game from the masters of open world that Bethesda are. And I'm really looking forward to what they're going to do to improve their formula now that they're done with this. And now that they've got the Far Harbor expansion coming in May, which seems like it's going to be pretty awesome. I'm really looking forward to Elder Scrolls 6, whenever that's going to come out, whatever game they do next. I'm actually honestly hoping it's a new IP, because I kind of want Elder Scrolls 6 to come much later. I want them to focus on something else. But I really, really enjoy Fallout 4, and I highly recommend it. So for my fourth entry, I had to limit this to one game. Because initially I was going to say, well, here's this collection of games that I think are great. But just for the sake of time, whatever, I'm going to limit it to one. And that's Tales from the Borderlands. Out of the 3 Telltale games that were released last year, I think Tales from the Borderlands is easily the best out of all of them. And not that Game of Thrones and Minecraft Story Mode are like bad or anything. No, far from it. Game of Thrones is excellent. Minecraft Story Mode is pretty damn good. But I feel like Tales from the Borderlands is their strongest game since The Walking Dead Season 1. And I mean, out of all the ones, I think this is a gem. Because what's so amazing, and as I've said in past videos, what's so amazing about Telltale is that they are able to take franchises that I don't even like, or I'm very indifferent towards them, and make them into stories that are made, like, it's like tailor-made for me. Where I honestly, I don't like Walking Dead. I kind of detest Minecraft. I am very indifferent towards Borderlands. But this is a fantastic game. Like, this is a game where they made me care. Like, I actually gave a shit about what was going on in this game. And to be honest, like, if these characters, like, at least if Fiona and Reese aren't in Borderlands 3 in some capacity, I honestly don't have any interest in the future of Borderlands. Not without these characters. Not without Reese. Not without Fiona. Not without Loaderbot. Not without Gortys. Not without Sasha. Not without any of these, like, really cool characters. And this game is hilarious. It's the best. It's like the funniest game of the year. Easily the funniest. I was laughing out loud at certain points. Just little lines that the characters would say that are so respectful and it's fantastic. It's like it captures the spirit of the Borderlands franchise while turning it into like what Telltale does best. I mean, it's amazing. It's funny. It's very heartwarming. It has the best ensemble cast of the year, or any other year for that matter. Like, I love these characters to the point where they're almost like family to me. I haven't been so emotionally invested in characters like this since, like, Mass Effect 3. Or maybe even, like, Walking Dead Season 1. I just love all these characters. And it shockingly goes into some really powerful stuff. I mean, I legit cried during a few points. And it does things that do affect the canonical, or however the hell you pronounce that, the canon of the Borderlands lore, where they, like, I'm not going to spoil how, but it will affect Borderlands 3. Like, hell yeah, it will, absolutely. And one of my favorite things about this series, and stuff that I've seen them try to do in like Minecraft story mode and probably in future Telltale games, the opening, like in each episode they have like it's like the opening scene, and then they have like a montage set to a soundtrack, or like the credits are set to a little bit of music, like a song choice, and it's perfect. Almost every one of these I thought was phenomenal. I loved them. My favorites are the ones from episode 2, episode 3, and episode 5. I think those are the best, with the episode like 1 and then episode 4 is probably not bad, but it doesn't get me like hearing you just have to watch them. Go up and look at the video that has them all playing in like a montage. I love these, and these set the tone for the game so well. And a few of them, one of them I actually kind of like teared up just because of how happy it made me, and the other one it made me like pretty sad. But it's just a testament to how wonderful and creative Telltale are as just storytellers. I mean, they get it. They get it. Where so many modern games forget to include like the player in on the lives of these characters, and like the emotions that you feel for them. Just like you want to be with these guys, you want to feel like you are hanging out with these guys and going on these wacky, weird, violent adventures with them. And that is what Telltale does best. That is what Telltale shows off with a huge bang with Tales from the Borderlands. You love these characters. You are in on the ride 100%, and it is beautiful and funny and loving. It's just, you just love these characters. And I also really like they're finding new ways to do the whole choose your own adventure kind of thing, and to do the whole choice and consequence thing that they're known for. And I feel like, without giving too much away, they do smartly add in new ways of making you feel the consequences of your actions. Not necessarily by, like, negative effect, by, like, unexpected stuff. Like, there's a whole bit at the end which, like this one little bit at the end, it's what's led up to, like, all the little choices you've been making throughout the game. And you actually the game will tell you, like, hey, this isn't happening because you did this, or this is going to happen because you did this. And it's really cool. And I said out loud, like, wow, that's awesome, when they brought that on. So I fucking love Tales from the Borderlands. I think, like I've said, this is easily their best effort since The Walking Dead Season 1. I hope to God they make a Season 2. I know they're doing Game of Thrones Season 2, because I know HBO, like, I think hired them to do, like, multiple seasons of it. But if I were given a choice between Game of Thrones Season 2 and Tales from the Borderlands Season 2, to be honest, I would definitely pick Tales from the Borderlands Season 2 over that. I mean, it's just, I love it. There's really no other words I can say. It's just, absolutely, you need to play this game. I mean, it's available on like practically everything, so you have no excuse if you own like an Xbox 360 or even a fucking like a PC or a phone or whatever. There is a way for you to access this game. It is one of the best games of 2015. It's the funniest game of 2015. It has the best characters in 2000. Almost, not want to say the best characters, the best ensemble cast in 2015. And, yeah, it's a great game, and I cannot wait to see if they do Season 2. Long live Telltale. The best goddamn storytellers in the video game industry currently. And I know a lot of people are sick of them, and like whenever they see a Telltale series at the end of a title, they go, oh god, not them again. But you know what? Fuck those people. I want more Telltale. I want more. I'm getting more. I'm happy. And given like the consistent level of quality they've been doing with these past few games, heightened by Tales from the Borderlands, hell, let them keep doing it. I can't wait to see what they do next. I can't wait for the Batman games. I can't wait for The Walking Dead Season 3. I'm pretty damn excited. So, definitely go out and buy Tales from the Borderlands. It's fucking fantastic. Number 5 on my cream of the crop is Bloodborne, developed by From Software. You guys knew this was going to be on here, and this was actually a really tough choice. I must admit, you guys know what number 1 is. It was a really tough choice between, like, what my favorite game of the year was. It was either going to be Bloodborne or The Witcher 3, and I had a really tough time choosing between the two. I almost went for a tie, but then I went, nah, there has to be one better than the other. And I think The Witcher 3 edged over Bloodborne just because I think, like, The Witcher 3 is my favorite narrative in a video game ever. So, and even with how amazing Bloodborne is, and how much I've been obsessing over it for, like, over a year now, I mean, I'm still playing it to this day. Even when I got Dark Souls 3 on my PS4, I'm still going back to Bloodborne. I'm still going back to Yarnum. But yeah, let's talk about Bloodborne for now. I'm like I said, I'm fucking obsessed with Bloodborne. I love Bloodborne. Ever since, not love, I adore Bloodborne with every bone in my body. Ever since it came out last year, I've just been mesmerized and floored by the vision of From Software, particularly Hidetaka Miyazaki. Just this incredible, bleak, grotesque, nightmarish, blood-soaked world that is so beautiful to look at, and it's aching, hauntingly powerful, and amazing to look at. Just all the attention to detail in the scenery, in the music, in the character design, in the weapon design, in the sounds. It's just, it's an audiovisual masterpiece, just with maybe the best art. And I'm not saying the graphics are my favorite of all time. This has maybe my favorite art design of all time in any video game ever. And I mean that over Radiata Stories, I mean that over Kingdom Hearts, I mean that over Elder Scrolls, I mean that over, like, almost every game I can think of. I've never been more obsessed with the art of a world and the design of it than I have with Bloodborne. I think Hidetaka Miyazaki is a fucking genius for making this game. Also, the soundtrack. I think this has easily the best soundtrack of the year. Maybe not easily. I think this gets the slight edge over Everybody's Gone to the Rapture score, which I think if I was originally going to say Everybody's Gone to the Rapture had my favorite score of the year, but listening to Bloodborne as much as I do, I gotta go with Bloodborne's score. I think, just, especially the boss themes. The boss themes, just when I think I can't hear anymore, like, just when I think nothing else can wow me in music, like, I've heard everything, in come the boss themes for this game that are just the best. My favorites are the music that plays when you fight Father Gascoigne, the Cleric Beast, Margot's Wet Nurse, Lady Maria. Oh my god, Maria! Fuck, the music is so good when you fight her. That's what makes that fight. When you're, like, doing this, like, incredible battle against her, and then the orchestra just kicks in and does the it's this, like, amazing choir, and then the Ludwig fight. Oh my god, the Ludwig fight. There's this transition from his first form to his second form, and the music that plays during that transition is just pure, divine, heavenly, or like eargasm shit. It is blah, it's amazing. Yeah, if you haven't heard the soundtrack for this game, if you're never gonna play this, at least listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack might even change your mind. It's phenomenal. And speaking of it, of you might not ever playing it, I understand that Bloodborne isn't for everyone. Like, and I've tried talking people into buying it, and as soon as I mention, like, the difficulty, it's like, oh god, I don't want to play that. Here's the beautiful thing about Bloodborne. Yes, it is brutal. It is stressful. It is very hard. You might even rage quit a few times before you reach the end. But it's also very, like what Dark Souls and Demon Souls does, it's very subtly encouraging. Like, because the world around it is so interesting, and even when you're faced against these, like, hulking monstrosities, and you think to yourself, oh fuck, there's no way I'm going to be able to kill that thing. The game has this weirdly encouraging thing where it's all about you inching closer and closer to achieving victory. And because they set that learning curve like so steep and some of the bosses like so high, that when you finally do kill it, that incredible feeling of accomplishment is unmatched. It's unmatched in any game. Why do you think so many games try to be like Dark Souls or try to be like Bloodborne? There is nothing like it on the market. Like, nothing like this. Like, when you finally... Like, and not only is it hard, it's very well designed. It's tough but fair. Like, if you fuck up, that's your problem. It's not the game. That's you, because you failed to do something. And you learn from your mistakes. And finally, when you push through what the screaming behemoth that's been kicking your ass for hours on end, you feel amazing. You will get this rush of euphoria and endorphins that is just... It's just unmatched. You're not going to feel anything like that. You're not going to, like... Granted, there are some fights in Bloodborne that make you go, oh god, thank god that's over. I never have to do that again. Some of the bosses, and like I said, no game is perfect, but and that includes Bloodborne. There are some bosses that I was like, oh, thank god that was over. But most of the bosses, I'd say like 90% of them, 95% of them are phenomenal and do have that sweet spot of tough but fair. And I will never in my life forget the moment that Bloodborne clicked for me. I've played Demon Souls. I've played Dark Souls. I've played Dark Souls 2. I'm playing Dark Souls 3 right now. And even though I've enjoyed, to various degrees, all of those games, Bloodborne is the one that really just, like, we bonded. The game and I bonded so quickly and so fast. So I can actually tell you the moment. I'll never forget it. It's one of my favorite gaming moments of all time. When I was going against Father Gascoigne, who is the first mandatory boss of the game, I must have suffered like, I think it was like 7 or 8 times that I died horribly against this guy. And I was just going, fuck, there's no way. But when I finally did it, I finally summoned up the skill and the wit and the courage to outthink and outfight that son of a bitch. And I got to that point where it was like the beast form mode, and I had the music box, so I did that, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm going for it. And I gave that boss every goddamn thing I got, and I took that motherfucker down. And when I saw that notification come up, Prey slaughtered, oh my god, I did like a fucking... I screamed out with glee. And I was practically like shaking. My hands were shaking. And that's happened before in Dark Souls, but never like this. Never ever like this, where a game has just... boom. Like, it's just... wow. It just clicked. And from that moment on, I haven't stopped loving Bloodborne since. And it was my victory. Mine. I earned that shit. I earned that win against that fucking Father Gascoigne. And it's mine alone. And that's the moment I have forever fell in love with Bloodborne. And even after a year, over a year now, that love has only grown stronger. The Old Hunters DLC now that's out is fantastic. It has 2 of the very best boss fights, not only in Bloodborne, but in the Dark Souls lore, the Demon Souls history. The 2 fights against Ludwig and Lady Maria, I think, are worth the price of the DLC alone. They are tough. They are brutal. Especially Ludwig, who is absolutely no joke, no slouch. You need to be on your A game to beat that guy. But it is awesome. Just the epic music that plays, the grotesque imagery. It's how disturbing. It's a testament to how amazing the game is. The game is so disturbing because there's so much like really fucked up shit in the game. Like, if you ever were to show your kid this, it's like nightmare fuel. That kid will be fucked up for years. Don't ever show your kid Bloodborne. Just the insanely horrifying monsters that are on display. But if you're an adult like me and can handle that kind of shit, you will love it. You will wonder to yourself, how the hell did they ever think of that? How the hell did they ever come up with, like, again, just when I think I've seen everything this series can offer, boom, here comes Bloodborne, and this amazing cast of bosses, this very memorable cast of terrifying creatures and enemies, and it's beautiful. The environments are beautiful. It's just the atmosphere is one of a damn kind. It is one of the very best games I have ever played. And if I were to think of any reason you need to own a PS4, this is it. Like if I had to have that argument with somebody about PS4 versus Xbox One, which one they should get? PS4. You know what the first game? Buy Bloodborne. Buy the complete edition. That is a game that is worth the price of a console because of how much creativity and joy, yes, joy, is packed into that game. And it's a masterpiece. It's one of my very favorite games of all time. And if you just love games in general, I would highly recommend Bloodborne. Not even highly recommend. You need to play Bloodborne. Even if you've never liked any of the Dark Souls games, and I can understand because you go, oh god, it's all offensive based. I can't really do that. No, fuck that. It's all defensive based. I can't do that. No, fuck that. This is all offensive based. You are going in smartly, swinging for the fences and trying to just survive and fight, and it is glorious. It's a glorious game, and I applaud. Thunderingly applaud From Software and Sony for doing this. And I said in my Dark Souls 3 video that I don't want them to keep making these games for a long time, and I stand by that with Bloodborne 2. I mean, even if they were to announce Bloodborne 2 this year, which I kind of have a sneaking suspicion that they might, I would still be excited for it as long as Hidetaka Miyazaki is involved. I think it'd be better if they waited like 10 years and then finally announced Bloodborne 2 for whatever system, like the PlayStation 5 that's out at the time, and people would go ape shit for Bloodborne 2. So, bravo From Software, bravo Hidetaka Miyazaki, bravo to the art designers, bravo to whoever composed the soundtrack. Everything that this game, it just melts together to just form this masterpiece. And that's what Bloodborne is. It's a masterpiece. And my final entry on the cream of the crop list, and what is my favorite game of 2015, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And I know what you're thinking. This is a really safe choice for Game of the Year. It's been getting Game of the Year like practically everywhere, but it truly deserves it. Besides Bloodborne, I can't think of any other game that deserves the amount of hype and praise that it's been getting. I've spent nearly $200 on The Witcher 3. I bought the collector's edition. I bought the digital version of Hearts of Stone. And I bought the collector's edition of Hearts of Stone with the cards. And I'm probably going to buy the collector's edition of Blood and Wine when that comes out. So I will have spent, by the time everything comes out, I probably will have spent around $230, $240 on The Witcher 3. And you know what? It's earned every single penny of my money. This is one of the most deep, rewarding, engaging, funny, beautifully written, beautifully scored, beautifully acted, all around amazing games I have ever played. Just the level of character and detail CD Projekt Red have gone to such extreme lengths to include into this game. It just blows my mind. Even now, I like the best of what Bethesda does. I play this game now, and I'm constantly finding new things, finding new creatures to fight. I mean, it's a huge world, and it feels lived in. It feels like a world that you are actually inhabiting, and I love Geralt of Rivia. I love the way he interacts in this world. I think he's a fantastic protagonist. I think Ciri is one of the best characters in video game history. I love her. I love Yennefer. I love Triss. Team Triss all the way. Just the huge roster of characters they have in this game are just so likable and so interesting. Even the villains are just so interesting, and you want to see more of them. I mean, there was even a point where I was so invested in these characters, and I know I said this about Tales from the Borderlands, and I stand by this. I didn't want to keep going. There was actually like a point in the middle of the game, like the climax of the middle of the game would be the climax of any other game. It's fucking enormous and epic in scope, and I didn't want to play it because I didn't want to run the risk of having any of these characters die. That's how invested in these characters I were. That's how invested in this world I became. Because I didn't want to keep playing it. I didn't want them to die. I didn't want to feel the loss of them. I don't think I've ever experienced that with any of these games besides Mass Effect 3. I think that's the only one where I've ever said, fuck, I have to keep going, but I'm loving it, but fuck, I don't want these characters to die. And unlike Mass Effect 3, The Witcher 3 does have a fantastic ending. At least the ending I got was fantastic. I've seen all three endings. I got the happy one, and I really loved it. The bittersweet one is really great too. I'm not all that crazy about the depressing one, because I think it could have been solved a little bit better, but or wrapped up a little bit better. But it's all right. But yeah, two fantastic endings out of three is still a hell of a lot better than most games have to offer. Mass Effect 3. But I said in the Bloodborne entry, this has the best story I have ever seen in a game. Like, I loved the pacing. I actually was excited to find out that there was more. Because I actually thought the middle point of the game was the ending. Was like the final battle. And I was like, holy shit, this is fantastic. This is what I've always wanted games to be. And then I found out there was more. I was like, what? There's more? That was just the middle point? Well, fuck yeah! Like, I was so happy. And as an added bonus to how awesome this game is, CD Projekt Red is probably the most consumer-friendly developer around. I mean, besides the fuck up with like the graphics downgrade thing and really miscommunicating how to miscommunicating when the Hearts of Stone Collector's Edition was going to be available in the US. I thought those were two fuck ups. I don't ignore those, but I think those are minor compared to how they just like Psyonix. They get it. They get how to be consumer friendly while achieving the business angle. Because Witcher 3 sold extremely well without having to do these stupid microtransactions, and I mean, there was an expansion pass, but it was reasonably priced. It was like $24.99 for two huge expansions. So yeah, fuck yeah. It was still like, I mean, they clearly love their fans. I mean, fuck, the collector's edition for $150. Most, like, I have a limit when it comes to buying collector's editions. Like, and I carefully judge this, and after like more consideration, I probably am not going to get the Final Fantasy 15 Ultimate Collector's Edition. I'm fine with the Deluxe Edition, but I looked at this Collector's Edition, and I looked what was in it, and for $150, I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to get this, and I don't regret it at all. The packaging was beautiful. I loved how they, like, all the developers, the whole development team signed the inside lid. I loved that. The art book is amazing that comes with it. The soundtrack is beautiful. The Geralt statue I have above my computer at this very moment. I'm staring at it right now. It's gorgeous. The seal medallion that came with it, awesome. And there's like some other shit that I forget, but it was worth it. And not only that, but they did that whole thing where they're like, we're gonna give you 17 pieces of free DLC. I mean, shit that developers usually would be like, oh, you're going to have to pay in increments to get all this. No, like, CD Projekt Red's like, here, every week we're going to have it come out with something else. Like, even if it's like a throwaway item, like a cosmetic skin, it's like, it's free. Why the fuck not? It adds value. And they add missions to it. They're free. They might not be lengthy like the Bloody Baron mission, but you know what? They're free. They add more to the game. Why wouldn't you download them? It's not like they're nickel and diming you. And the expansion, Hearts of Stone so far, for $10, totally worth it. It's great. And I'm very excited to play Blood and Wine. I'm definitely going to have a video about that, because I'm really, really excited to play it. But it's The Witcher 3 is just like this amazing gift that just keeps on giving. And it's going to keep on giving with Blood of Wine. I hope... I don't know if I'd want another game with Geralt. Maybe some other game, another character set within the Witcher world. But yeah, it's... I love this game. It's my favorite game of 2015. It is The Witcher 3. If you were to sum up the reason why I play games, I would just be like, go play The Witcher 3. That's like my default answer right now. Someone will be like, hey, what would you recommend playing right now? Witcher 3. What do you want? Witcher 3. But Witcher 3. Witcher 3. Maybe Bloodborne after that. No, not maybe. Bloodborne after that. Witcher 3, then Bloodborne. But, yeah. This game's awesome. It's, just talking about it just brings this big smile to my face, and I get so happy whenever I think about it. And even with the level of, like, I think the thing that's underestimated the most about The Witcher 3 is how enjoyable it is and how funny it can be. I mean, even in this, like, really dark, violent game, like, it is very dark. There's a lot of, like, really horrible stuff that happens. There's, like, torture. There's like, this really fucked up scene of rape and murder. I mean, there's, like, a scene, a room full of dead bodies that somebody just killed, like, dead women. It's horrifying. But even with that darkness, there is still the light to counterbalance it. They still have the moments that are really funny, where you can get drunk with your Witcher buddies and just fuck around. There's just funny banter from Geralt back and forth between some characters. It's just, it does a very impeccable job of balancing the light and the dark. And it doesn't feel like one overwhelms the other, and it makes for this rich, cohesive whole. And that is super impressive. And this is CD Projekt Red's first time with an open world game. And they knocked it out of the park. They knocked it out of the park, soared past a bunch of cities, and landed right on the other side of the world. That is how far they knocked that out of the park. And, I mean, I would assume they were, like, world-building veterans by now, considering the quality of the Witcher 3 world. It just amazes me that this is their first time making an open world. But yeah, huge round of applause to CD Projekt Red. They are my pick for, like, developer of the year. Witcher 3 is my favorite game of the year, and I fucking love it. I love Witcher 3. I love it. But yeah, those are my 6 games of the year. Probably just for whatever's sake, I'll put, like, my actual top 10 in the description box area. Some of the stuff in there, I just, the reason I did it this year, because there's the bottom games that I'm like, they're good, but I don't feel comfortable doing, like, top 10 games of 2015 lists. And yeah, I like this idea of doing, the most consumer-friendly stuff. I don't know if I'll do that this next year, because there are some games that I do want to talk about on a top 10, if I do play 10 games that really impress me, which I hope I do. It's 2 down, 8 to go at this point, or 3 down, 8 to go at this point. Yeah. Bravo to all the games on this list. You've earned a spot. Hopefully, the things you do next are going to be fantastic. I'm very excited for CD Projekt Red's next game, which is Cyberpunk 2077. I'm really looking forward to that. And yeah, that sums up the best games of 2015. Alright, thank you guys for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite games of 2015 were. If you disagree with some of my choices, you agree, let me know. And as always, thank you guys so much. Trying to think of something else to say, something clever to end this with. Butt cheeks. There. That's what I'll end this video with. Butt cheeks. Have a good one, guys.